welcome back to my channel. So during this video I want to do a little bit different. I want to see if I can do an all affordable full face look today. We're going to do a simple maybe 1-2 eyeshadow tutorial so we can do the rest of our face online. So I did do my eyebrows to save a little bit of time. I used my CoverGirl pencil and my Morphe pencil, and I like these two combinations because the pencil is pretty much on the like drier side. It's not like one of those gel type eyebrow pencils, which works well because I have oily eyebrows. And what I do is I dry them down with some translucent powder, and I use my air sponge, and I carved them out with my Revolution concealer. This potted concealer is $10, and I used the shade Medium Sand. So that's what I use for the brows. So we're gonna go ahead, and I know they look kind of funky right now, but we're gonna go ahead and do. Trying to see what I dropped. Do the rest of. Sorry. Do the rest of our face, and just kind of go from there and see how it plays out. So I'm going to use the Revolution Pro Coverage Ultimate Coverage Crease Proof Concealer in the shade C5.7, and we're going to prime our lids with this concealer. And it's a real nice thick coverage. If you want the real thick full coverage on your lids, this is perfect. Now when I first got it, I tried to use it under my eyes. That did not work. So now I'm just going to take this BH Cosmetics buffing brush and buff out the concealer so we can get it ready, get our lids ready for the shadows. And like I was saying before, I said that I tried to use it when I first bought it under my eyes, and it was like horrible. I don't know if it was like too thick, but it's great for to be used as an eyeshadow base. So we're just going to make sure that's blended really well. And you see I didn't use but a couple of dots, and it goes a long way. And I know it looks crazy, but this is what I like to do so my shadows will last like all day. And I'm just going up under my brows. And we're going to fix these brows because they kind of like on it has a mind of their own today. And if they don't want to act right, they just gonna have to go to work with me looking like this. So we're gonna move on from that. So next we're going to take our beauty sponge. What did I do with it? I don't know. Hang on 1 minute, guys. I am back. I had to go and get it. My Elf, I think it's Elf Total Face sponge, and I love this little thing. I've been using this thing for like months, probably about a year. It does not wear and tear really easy. This is a tough duty sponge. If you haven't tried it, I think you probably should if you like sponges, because I like them to blend out the base for my shadows. So now we're going to start with the eyeshadows. So this is going to be just a little bit more. And that looks kind of crazy right now, but we'll make it work and fix it. So I want to go on with this Milani palette, and I'm going to keep it, I'm going to try my best to keep it on the affordable, affordable full face. Let's put it like that. So I'm going to do the Milani Gilded Gold palette and see what we can come up with. Like I said, I want to do maybe 2 eyeshadows, no more than that, so I can keep this video to a minimum, but a full face, if that makes sense. So now we're going to go in with the, let's do, I don't have a matte shade, so I'm going to go with my Cream Brulee when it's time to go with a matte shade that's lighter for my skin tone. So we're going to go in with the shade, let's do Extra Basic, which is this first matte shade on the second row. And we're going to take this Morphe 5 a 535 brush and just take the shadow. And we're going to blend it right, pack it first, kind of place it right over the crease area. And we're just going to keep going into the shadow until we build it in that crease area to our liking. And Milani has some great shimmer shades if you haven't tried them. I used to love using their shimmer shades. And they have some great mattes too. I forgot the 9-pan palette. I think it was 9 shades or something like that. I have one in my collection. I used to use it all the time. I'm about to pull it back out. They have some great matte shades as well. They're a pretty good brand to be affordable because I love their foundations. So we're just placing the eyeshadow in the crease on the other eye. The same way. And we're just going out a little bit and up around the shape of my, the bone right there above my crease. I have to think before I say something because I just be talking. So we're going to continue to, and I'm just lifting my eyes up a little bit so I can just make sure it's placed in here nice and smooth before we start blending. So we're going to make sure it's placed in the crease of this eye as well. And do the same thing, kind of go out and around. And don't worry about all that harshness. We're going to fix that. Right now we're just placing. And that's my key to my shadows. I don't go straight in blending if I don't have the eyeshadow base set. And I used to set my shadows. A lot of times I don't do it now because I feel like I will have to work. I was working more trying to build up the shadow and trying to get it to show up with that powder on top of it. I mean, you could do it, but it's just, to me, it was a little more work. So now that I got that packed really nice, we're going to take our little face makeup remover and Friday, and clean off any excess on this brush and blend those edges in circular motions so that harshness is gone. The same thing for this eye. This is a nice formula in these palettes. I have quite a few of this style, but this is my first time using this style palette by them. I have, like I said, I have the hard case one. I think it's a hard case, yeah. And that one performed really good. And I just put a little bit more back on my brush to build it, just to kind of add a little more in its crease from blending. And I'm just blending, like I said, in circular motions. And I'm not being precise because, like I said, we're going to make this like a 2 eyeshadow look. Take a little bit more so we can focus on the rest of our face. And I'm just blending what's left onto my eyelid. And I'm going to windshield wiper motions now in the shape of my eye so we can make sure this shade is like really blended well. Okay, so we're going to take one more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Make sure it's in that crease like you want it. And the same for this eye. And I think I want to, let's keep it on the matte looking side. So what we're going to do now is go in with the bone shade. That's the only shade I believe I'm going to use unless I highlight, because I want to keep it simple today so I can keep it moving. So next we're going to take the, it's a Eco Tools brush, just a little, the one with the flat fluffy end. And we're going to take the cream brulee and kind of just pack it on this brush. And we're going to pack it on our lid to set the rest of the eyelid. And I'm just packing to make sure this concealer is set, because what you don't want the shadow to do is start moving around on you throughout the day and breaking up. So I'm just applying a good generous amount of this shade onto my actual lid to make sure it's set completely, like we did the crease area with the transition shade. Okay, so I feel like that should do it. And while we're doing this, we're going to go ahead back in with this 505 brush. And we're going to make sure it's cleaned again. And we're going to take the same matte shade and we're going to make sure it's placed on our brow bone area to set that concealer under our brows. Now they're not looking that bad since I got the shadows going, because they were like, I was kind of like, these eyebrows gonna have a mind of their own today, and we're both just gonna be having a mind of our own because we want to go out the door anyways. And then as soon as I get to work, we're gonna talk about them and laugh about them. I'm gonna show you eyebrows like this today, and I'm like, so, because I love the people I work with. So I'm just gonna wipe that because it's my area trying to run. So now I'm gonna go back in with this Morphe 535 brush and go back in with our first shade, because I want to make sure we blend out around where we just placed that matte shade. So we're going to go back in with this same shade we began with, and I'm going to use this palette a little bit more with some shimmers and some more looks. I just want to kind of keep it faster today, and we're just blending it back in the crease and the outer V, and the same thing for the other eye. This is an easy neutral eye look, and just make sure we blend it close up to the brow bone. That is it for the eyeshadow look. So we're going to take this makeup wipe. I like that. Real simple. And then we're going to pour a little of our simple micellar water. And I get this at TJ Maxx for $5. I think it's about $6 maybe. From Walmart. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's a little bit more than $5. And then you got a really big bottle, and it lasts me a really long time. Because I don't remove my makeup with it, I like to use it on my wipes to clean up under my eye area. I like using oils and stuff to remove my makeup. Skin is like red. We're going to clean up around the brows. And this is my everyday, pretty much routine for my base, regardless of what eyeshadow look I am doing. And I'm just doing this again to make sure it's extra clean before I go in and start applying my face products. And I feel like some hair was on my lip or something, so we're going to put a little more oil back on them. And this is the ColourPop, just clear Luxy oil. I hate dry lips with a passion. So I'm going to coat those babies really good. So now we're going to go in with the final look with the shadows. That blended like really good, like really good. So I like how this blended, and I'm just blending a little bit more before we start the base. Okay, so that's going to do that. Now we're going to go in with our L'Oreal liner, potted liner, and I'm trying to find my brush. I'm going to go in with just our Sigma liner brush. You can use any type of liner brush. This is the only one I have in front of me right now at the moment. Yes. No, that's a Sigma. I was trying to keep an affordable brush, but the makeup is affordable. We're just going to keep moving. So we're going to take some of the liner. And I like to make sure my brush is coated really good. This thing is about dry. I'm going to put some oil in here. And we have some on the brush. Let me zoom you guys out so you can see, because I will be out of frame trying to do this. And we're going to go ahead and apply it on our lash line. Okay, I'm not out of frame. Good. And I like to hold my eye. I know that people say you should not do that, but that's the only way I can get my applications and my shadows and stuff to look like I want it. If not, it doesn't look like I want it. So this works for me. So we're just going to continue applying. And kind of just softly flick that end. Now, I don't really know how to do wing liner, so I like to stop like right there a lot of times because I don't know what I'm doing. And it's easy to, and I'm just going back to make sure the line is like together. Let's see if I can zoom in just a little. Okay. To make sure the line is even as much as possible across my eyelid before I apply any falsies or mascara. So we're going to take a little bit more. Actually, I need another one of these. I think I got a Maybelline somewhere if I didn't use it all. Because I think I've been loving my Inglot so much. Because it glides on so smooth and easy. So we're going to do the other eye the same way. That lower lash line. Not lower lash line. Eyelid line. That is a lash line. Yeah. Lash line. Yeah. Oh. So we're going to, and you could do this, like I do it like really, really soft. And not too hard on my lash line. Because I don't like to really just pull it with this brush. And it's easier for me when I do it in light strokes. And it places really good for me. So I'm going to make sure it's even across. Okay. So let's look at them, make sure they're together, kind of like even. Let's make sure they're, let's see. And I'm just making sure they're even by going back all the way straight across down. I think that looks pretty good. Then the same thing for the other eye. And I like to start out here and go like diagonal till I get to where I came down into my inner corner. And then we're just going to make sure that the outer is kind of on the smoother side. And then we can move on with the next step. Cool. So I think that looks pretty good. Oh, yes. And that's the L'Oreal eyeliner. Well, at least y'all know I'd be excited about Fridays. I'm going to go in with this Essence Lash Princess mascara. And we're just going to coat these babies really good and prep them for summer lashes. And you want to be careful with this mascara because I am known for applying it and my lashes touch the crease of my eyeshadow. And I'd be like really upset. So, because it's like a real wet mascara, and it's almost about to do it then. So I just kind of like lightly flick my lashes with the tip of the mascara. And then once I feel like I got most of the product off, then I'll go in with the side wand and separate these lashes really lightly. Because like I said, this mascara is really good, but it's also really like on the wet side, and it's easy to transfer it to your eyelids. See, just did it, but we'll fix it. Okay, so I think that's enough since we're going to pop on some nice lashes. But we're going to go back in with this 535 since I'm not going to do that. I'm going with the Eco toothbrush because I want to fix that little area. Okay, there it is. Now it's gone. Okay, perfect. Lash time. So we're going to apply the Ardell 113s in black, which are some nice long wispy lashes. It does not give volume, but it gives nice length and elegant. I love these lashes. I love these and the kids' lashes, especially when I'm going to work. So we're going to clean my tweezers because I have to make sure these are like really clean when I'm applying lashes. Because in the past, your girl would just keep going in with the same tweezers and my lashes would be coming off because of the glue. So I'm going to take my little scissors, just a little bit of pair of scissors I got from TJ Maxx, and I like to cut these sharp edges on my lashes because if I don't, they'll be off before I get to work. The lashes will, because they start irritating my inner and outer corner, especially my inner, and I can't function all day like that. And I just pull them off and they'll be on my desk or in the trash. So I'm gonna use this Kiss Super Stronghold glue in clear. This is some really nice glue. I went to my local beauty store a couple of months ago and I asked her what's a popular eyelash glue because I was looking for the other Kiss glue and I don't think they sell it anymore, but she told me that this was like a #1 seller, and she was right because this is a good glue. So we're just gonna dry these babies for a couple of seconds. And I said you're not sure and I blow brushes and eyelashes and stuff, but they're going on my eyes so I can blow them. Let's stick this tail. Let's see which way I go on this. This eye. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stick it on our eye. And I like to place it right in the middle and let it sit there while I clean this again, because you got to remember you have glue and stuff and mascaras on here. Once you start placing it, you want to make sure that your tweezers are like really clean so it does not move your lash around. So now we're going to just press down on it and push it right against that lash line. Make sure I'm zoom you guys out a little bit because I get out of frame on you. We're going to just make sure, and I like to make sure this end is not like right on the end, if that makes sense, because then that's when it starts lifting throughout the day and your lash on this side will be loose from your lash line. So again, I'm cleaning them again. This is my process that takes a little bit longer, is applying my lashes, because I like for my lashes to look like they are like closer to my lash line as possible when I place them. So now you can see what that end is like right here on the end of my lash line, but not the far end where it irritates. And I like these lashes because you do not have to cut them or trim them. I just like to cut that edge off so it doesn't irritate me throughout the day. And all I'm doing now is just pressing and pressing and pressing them on my lash line. And we're going to clean them again. You're going to see me do this a couple of times, and I like to use the back end to lift them back up, because when I place them on, they kind of like sags from all of the pulling on them and pressing on them. So we're going to go back in again, make sure they're pressed down to your liking. Like I said, I press mine almost till they fully dry, because I like how natural they look. They actually look like extensions rather than strips when I do it this way. We're going to make sure that end is secured, and they kind of like sticking. So I'm going to clean it again. Okay, and lift them one more time. And now I'm going to let that dry while we do the other eye. Then we'll go back and press them with our fingertips. So now we're going to take the other lash. I actually like to buy some more of these, because I don't have any more of these. And I really like these lashes. They don't want to come off. One thing about these, they'll strip like a little faster than the kids' lashes. They'll break apart if you're not too careful with them. And they're I think they're a little bit lighter than the kids' lashes, but they're more fragile than the kids' lashes. So we're going to do the same thing to this lash, cut those pieces. That's going to cause you a lot of irritation, especially if you have small eyes like mine. So now we're going to place the glue. And I make sure I coat my lash with a good bit of glue. That helps them to stay. I'm going to coat it again. And you see how I coated them like really, really good. Now we're going to, let's close this glue first, because I'll leave it open to be stuck here all day and dry it out. So we're going to fan them a little bit so the glue can start to get tacky, so we can stick it on our other eye. So it's still kind of on the, you can see the glue, but I'm going to go ahead and pop it on my other eye. You want to center it, and again start with your edge to make sure it's not like to that really, really far corner. So now we have it sitting on the lash line. We're going to take our wipe again, clean it. This works for me like really, really good, because I'm able to just pop them where I want them at and not worry about them, like I said, moving around. So now we're going to actually set them on our lash line, because at first I just set it like close to it on top of the liner. So we're just going to press the and I think maybe weekly I'm going to try to do a full face, and hopefully that's my plan. I haven't gotten that agenda yet. I've been talking about a full face maybe once a week when I'm going to work. Because a lot of 100% of my videos, pretty much 98%, 95, however percentage it is, most of my videos are me going to work. Because that's pretty much the only time I can really just sit down and film. Because I feel like that's when I'm more energetic, when I first wake up in the morning. And I can actually film it without looking tired and being exhausted from working all day and trying to film when I get home. Because I do have a full-time job. So we're going to clean these again and kind of lift them up before we press down on them again. Like I said, this is the most lengthiest part of my full routine are these lashes. Only because I want them to be like placed on here really good, because I've seen some lashes, honey. I ain't gonna go there. But they, like I said, they pick up on the end. I don't like that feeling. So let's make sure it is on that outer area and on that lash line, and we're going to lift them. So let's clean this one more time. I know it's a lot, I'm sorry, but I hope you all find this helpful, or if it's another way to do it, let me know. I'm all for it. So now we're going to go with our finger and press it down against our lashes, our natural lashes. So do the same thing for the other eye. And that kind of brings them back to the level where your lashes are and not just like flipped all the way up. And this is the last step. So what I want to do now is go back in with my liner, because I feel like with this eye I need to fix that liner. So we're going to fix the liner to make sure the line is even, because I don't need my coworkers talking about me on this Friday. So we're gonna go back in and go back across. Sniffles come from all of that. So you can see I made a nice line back across my lash line, and do the same thing for the other eye. Okay, so that is it for these eyes. Where these sniffles come from? Is it this weather changing? Because it's been like really cool in the mornings. When I go to rest, like in like 60s. I'm in Georgia, so this weather's like crazy in Georgia. So I'm just cleaning up under my lower lash line, the rest of my face with this same white, so we can do the rest of our face. Okay, so let's do it. For starters, I'm going to start out with some oil, and I'm going to be using my, cannot find it. I was looking for my Palmer's oil. There it is. I like this oil, and I'm almost out of it. And this is the Palmer's Cocoa Butter Formula Skin Therapy Face Oil. And I actually bought this off of Amazon. I think it's about $8, but it lasts a very long time. So we're going to put a little bit in the Doppler. We're not going to use all of this. And then we're just going to dot a couple of dots around your nose area. And use the wand. Dot a little bit here, there. Okay, and then the rest we didn't use it all. See, just a little bit. And then start. Now we may apply a little bit more depending on if I put enough on there to the hydration I want, depending on how dry my skin feels this morning. So we're going to rub that in. I'm going to use my ring finger to go under my eye to gently place some of the oil under my eye area, because my under eye area gets like super dry. Super dry. So we're going to blend. And I'm trying not to touch my eyebrows because I do not want to move this product around. So I feel like I need to place just a little bit more under my eye area, because I love for my under eye area to be like super, super hydrated. Like super hydrated. So I'm going to place it right in this crease. I know it seems like a lot, but I like the way it feels on my face from this. And I'm not actually pushing it out. I'm just using what was on the wand. And we're going to, yeah, that's much better. Kind of go back and forth in a little light, soft, circular motion, because your under eye area is so delicate, like really delicate. And you don't want to cause a whole lot of irritation to that area, especially if it's dry. Oh my God. You can tell it if you put some foundation on. It's like really dry. So now I am going to That feels real good. Real good. I don't know about these oils. I tell you, every time I put these oils on, it does something to like my sinuses or something. So I do want to add some sunscreen this morning. Now, I don't have an affordable sunscreen. This sunscreen came in my BoxyCharm, so I'm not sure how much this thing cost if it was bought. But if you have any kind of sunscreen, I'm just going to apply a little bit of sunscreen on top of this oil. Not much. A little bit on my finger. And so that's all the sunscreen I'm going to apply. So we're going to take our ring finger again and make sure I like to make sure it's really concentrated like on my cheeks and my face area before I go directly under my eyes with the rest of it. Just make sure the rest of my face have a good coverage up, so the rest of it will just kind of go up under our eye. Now, I don't use the sunscreen every day, but I wanted to use it today because I put in a couple of my looks that were not on camera, but I did want to kind of put it in today's video. So, ooh, that under eye is feeling like so good, like really good. Next, we're going to go in with my Cerave moisturizing cream. This is like my favorite face cream. We're going to take a little bit because I feel like this cream almost feels like a primer to me. I don't know why. It has that thick consistency of a primer, like a moisturizing primer. And I like to do this like in generous amounts because I love the way it feels when I get done. I know it's a lot, but I like the way it have my face looking when I place my foundation, and I love the hydration of it. And then, you know, I have super oily skin, so I'm just going to blend it while I run my mouth. I have super oily skin, but this does not add extra oil. It really actually helps my foundation, like I said, to not only apply smoothly, but it lasts throughout the day too. So I don't know, that's why I say I don't know why I feel like it feels like a primer. Like one of those primer lotions, like that Laura Mercier primer lotion. And it's like I said, it's like a really good facial cream. It's an all over body cream, but I love it for my face. So we're just gonna make sure that is ready to roll. It feels so good, like so good. And sometimes I just go all the way around, all the way down, so everything is hydrated. So now I am, a piece of hair somewhere. Random, but it was in the way. So now I think I'm going to go in with my Juvia's Place foundation again, because I used it yesterday and I really did like it. And I'm all out of frame, but that's okay. We're going to mix two shades together. That's what I did yesterday. I'm not even sure which two shades I used. So we're going to wing it with the two shades that I am going to mix. So we're going to use the shade Tangier, and that's this deeper tone. And I love this little thing. Like I said, I don't know where I got this thing from, but where's all this hair coming from? But we're going to put one drop in there. It's like the thickest foundation in the world. One drop in there. Then we're going to go with a lighter tone. Let's go in with, and it does oxidize, like really oxidizes. I think this is the shade Martinique, and this is like neutral shade. We're going to take one drop of that, and it doesn't take much of this. Normally I don't use, I did not use, not I don't use, but I did not use all of the foundation. I think I put too much in there yesterday. So we're going to see what these two dots does. But we're going to go with our oil. And we're going to put one drop of oil. Really? We're going to put one drop of oil in here to mix it. Because when I place it, it's like so dry. So we're going to put one, let's do 2 drops of oil. Small drops of oil. Because you don't want to separate your foundation. You just want to make it where it's going to apply smoothly. Just going to take my little mixing stick and just mix the foundation in here together. Like I said, I don't know where I got this little thing from. I think it came in some makeup kit, and I was like, oh, I can keep this. That's pretty cool to put stuff in, like pigments and stuff. So that's what I initially bought it for. So now I'm going to use this side to see if it's the shade I want before I actually apply it on my skin. But again, we're going to roll with it. But first, we're going to go in with setting powder. This is the wrong one. A translucent setting powder. And I like to put my stuff in here because sometimes it's easy for me to get it. So I like these little containers with these tight lids. So we're going to apply some Airspun translucent powder around our nose area. And this helps, and just go out a little bit, where I get oily, and it kind of controls it. And then I go over my brows, because I have like oily brows, like crazy oily brows. And my chin area up around my mouth before we apply the rest of the foundation. So now, foundation time. So we're going to take my Real Techniques buffing brush, which is my favorite, and we're going to blend out what we already placed. And you see the coverage is like, the shade is kind of like okay, it matches my skin tone like perfect to me, but it's going to blend easily with this brush and this oil that has been added. So we're going to take a little bit on the tip of the brush, and it doesn't take much of this foundation. It's like so full coverage. You don't have to have a lot of it, because those little two little dollops is going to go a long way. So now go up in the center lightly, and I'm actually going around these areas with what's left on the brush, because I don't want it to be caked up in these areas of my face. I like most of my foundation to be in this area, my cheek area, on the full coverage side. Not so much of my forehead and my brow area. I can do without it being like really full coverage around those areas. Oh, my brows are not looking as bad as I thought. They're not all the way there, but like I said, they're going to have to work today. And we still working on that same little bit, and we still have a good bit in here. So this is like I said, real full coverage. If you have this foundation, let me know how you feel about it, because my first time using was a couple of weeks ago, because like I said, every time I try to use it, I couldn't figure out how to get it placed. I'm just going across my ears and dragging the rest of it down. I couldn't get it to place like I wanted. It was like super, super thick, and it was not working for me with my oily skin. And then when you place it on, it was like so dry, so dry. And I think because I was trying to apply it with a beauty blender as well, and that is a no-go with this foundation. And these are all just my opinions. But it did not work for me with a beauty blender. No matter what type of beauty blender it was, it did not work for me. So I'm just lightly fluffing my face right now, and making sure it's evenly spread out before we apply any more. And I really don't need any more, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to flick it down. And I like to do this so my neck and my face are the same color, or transitioning the same color. And I know it looks a little yellow on camera, but we're going to fix it. And I don't be minding that anyways. Because I'm going to contour. No, we're going to bronze this morning. We're going to highlight and bronze. And it's going to kind of fix this tone of it. Like I said, you want to make sure you really, really blend this foundation, because like I said, it's really on the super thick side. Although I put that oil in it, it made it smoother to place, but it's still full coverage. So we're taking just the end of this brush again. You can see only that little tiniest amount goes a long, long way. Because look how much that placed on that area. And that's why I like most of my full coverage like in this area. Because by the time you get through bronzing and highlighting, I'm trying to put a little bit, not too much. Okay, the tiniest bit. And look how much comes off with that tiniest bit. I think I went in too many times with that tiniest bit. Okay, so, and you still have foundation in here. Not much, but it's in there. So I'm not going to apply any more foundation. We're just going to use what's on here. Look at this. Just look at this foolishness. We're going to just keep moving, and we'll fix that in a minute. But we're going to just keep making sure that the foundation is really, really smooth to your liking before we go on to the highlighting and bronzing step. And it's taking me a bit longer because I'm trying to talk through it. But normally, I would have been through my full face and would have been back. But like I said, I enjoy doing this. So I do think I'm going to do it maybe on a weekly. And that'll give me an opportunity to use some of my stuff that I have not used. Because I've been like going with this favorite stuff lately. And not going in my stash pulling out other stuff like I should. But on the weekends when I plan on doing something, it just does not work out that way. So I'm going to take this e.l.f. sponge. And now we're going to pack it all in and make sure it does not have the streakiness from the brush. And this helps gives it that smooth finish. And it's kind of tricky with these shades because you can't really test them right now to see if they match your skin tone perfect. I just winged it and bought a couple shades that look like it may or may not match. And then I intentionally bought a deeper shade in case I needed to deepen up the shade if it was too light. So let's zoom you guys in. This is the base with the Juvia's Place. It's like I said, it's a nice finish. A nice finish when you get through applying it to your face. Like I said, the oil did like wonders for it to place like I like it. So we're going to drag down your neck. I think that looks really, really good. It's on the glowy side from all the moisturizing I've done. So we're going to go back out a little bit and finish the rest of our face. I like that. So now we're going to go in with the Juvia's Place. We're going to keep it kind of like Juvia's since we're here. We're going to take the shade 18 in the concealer. And we're not going to be crazy like I normally do, because we're trying to keep it to a minimum. So we can go place a little bit here. And then, and I'm not actually packing it like I normally do. And then here. And it's just to give it that full coverage under my eyes. But then we're going to go in with a lighter shade to kind of brighten it. Because I like to go in with a shade that's similar to my skin tone sometimes. To conceal under my eyes. And then go in with a lighter shade to kind of brighten up. It's not exactly the same shade, but it goes well with the shade I have. So now we're going to go in with the shade 19, which is a more lighter shade. And this is where I'm going to, if I can get it open with my oily hands, going to add for a little highlighting. And we're going to take and place it right here in the same area. And this is some good concealer as well. Especially it works well under my eyes. Okay, so we're going to let that sit for a minute. And we're going to let that sit while we go ahead and try to fix these eyebrows. Where I kind of like screwed them up. So I'm going to go with my Morphe pencil. Let me zoom you guys in while we do that and wait for this concealer to set a little bit. You can see how it just come off. Well, it didn't come off. I rolled over it with the brush. And we're just going to lightly shape them back up. I mean really lightly. I'm not pressing down on it. And bringing that shape back into the brows. Let's try to fix this one as well while we're here. Light strokes. And because I love my little tail on my brows. Honey, let me tell you this thing here. Light strokes, Michelle. Cool. So what we can do while it's setting we're going to go in and use some brow gel. Let's go back out a little bit. This is an old, I don't even know if there's anything in here. No, it's not. Okay. I had one, but I don't know if it's affordable. It came in my box of charm, but I do not want to use that. I want to keep it affordable. Where is it? I don't know. Now, I had some. Don't want me to be great while they're sitting. The madness. I'm actually trying to see if Nope. It's not working in my favor this morning with this. Yes, it is. Bam. We're gonna take the the brow gel, and it's a little lighter, and I don't mind that because it tends to lighten up my brows just a bit. And this is the Essence Make Me Brow Eyebrow Gel, and this one is in the shade, does that say Cobra? I don't know what that says, but it's a lighter shade, being these eyes. And we're gonna start from the inner and flick these brows up until we get to the tail. Do the same thing for this eye. This one just does not want to act right today. I guess it has a day too. Like, I don't want to act right today. And that's okay. Because we have some good days and some bad days. And this one just want to have a bad day today. We're going to go in our sponge and blend the concealer. And I like to, once I get it blended like I want around that area, I go up under where I'm going to bronze. Because like I said, I'm not going to highlight today. I want to try to keep it as simple as possible so I can keep moving. And this is normally what I do when I go to work anyway. Keep it like really, really simple. But it still turns out really, really pretty. So now we're going to blend the forehead area. And I like to just, like I said, just place it. As I said in a previous video. Just kind of stamp it, make sure it's like really, really placed in that area before I start moving around. Then I'll take the flat. Hang on, guys. It just like ran over there. What is going on this Friday? Again, this flat ended, and just blend out those edges. And it's closer to my brow, the shaping of my brow. So now I go back in with this end and I squeeze it like tight as I can, and I lift up my brows and blend, because I'm a pro at flicking it in my brows, this concealer. So now we're going to go back, and we're still holding it in that little tight squeezy. Now we're going to start blending under our eye. And I always start like where my nose is, and then start going out under where the concealer was placed, and slowly blend until you get under your eye area. I don't ever just take that concealer and go straight under my eyes. I used to do that, and it was tragic. So now we're going to just make sure it's blended like really, really good. And I lightly blend when I get to that under eye area. Now I press down when I'm here to make sure it's blended well with my foundation. But when I get under my eye, I don't press really, really hard. Same thing for the other under eye area. Start with my nose, and then I start going out. Like again, I press down like really hard for that to blend, but then when I start going under my eye, I start to lighten up with the force I use to blend out the concealer, because I don't want to break it up and it looks like it's broken. And just kind of blend it again. And just going around everywhere I place this highlighter shade. One last time before we start bronzing. So now I'm going to take my Juvia's Place. It's just a fluffy brush. I like to use this when I highlight. Not highlight. Jesus, girl, get your terms together. If I knew how to edit, I would have it together. Because I could change these terms like really fast. And cut out the piece where I screwed up at. But we're here. And I'm going to take the shade. Trying to get some out of here. My Fit Me. This is my favorite powder under my eye right now. And I like to mix the two shades. Light medium and fair light. Which are these two shades. And then I'll just go in with the light medium on my brush. Then I'll go in with the fair light. And then we're just going to start placing it. And then lightly fluff it under my eye area. And I actually place it in this area to set it. But I lightly fluff under my eye area. And it gives it like that nice setting finish for this concealer. Now we're going to take a little bit more of the light, just a little bit, and make sure that under eye is just set really, really light. And I take my time with this portion of my face, the medium shade, the light shade, and place. And I look up and lightly fluff, like really lightly fluff, because you can feel the moisture where the concealer is still wet, and you don't want to just press down on it and break it up. So I'm going to take a little bit more light and lightly fluff right under my eye area, because you can break it up really fast and then you'll have a streaky mess before you even can walk out the door. So now I'm going to just take medium and set the rest of the areas where I place the concealer, especially around my nose. And I think this powder might be about $4 or $5, I believe, on Amazon. Now we're going to place the, and I'm still using the medium. I only added that light to my under eye area. And then I'm going to go over my brows. It's just a little bit. Okay. Bam. We are getting there. I know it's a little bit long, but when I'm talking, I don't know how to shut up. I do know that. They used to call me motor mouth when I was younger. When I started talking, because I used to wouldn't talk at all. So, we're going to go in with, we're going to go back in with our 535 and blend out these shadows. I always do this when I get done because I will forget. And then you'll have this harshness where it looks like your eyeshadows are separated from your foundation. And we don't want that. This is a nice little natural looking big girl. Do it, Shelly Poo. Cool beans. I like that. Now these eyebrows just like, you know what? I'm going to leave them alone today. We got to move on. So next I'm going to take my eyeliner. And I've been loving this Maybelline Definer line. And we're going to take our little puff. And I just came from BH Cosmetics. Let me zoom you guys in back here a little bit. And we're going to put a little liner on our lower lash line. Hope I'm not out of frame. Let's see if I can fix this. Okay. And we're going to, let's do this because I really don't want you out of frame because I will screw it up and my head will be all down. So we're going to lightly and apply it. Let's do that. Kind of hold my head up a little bit so you can see. And we're not pulling it, we're just holding it so we can actually place. Oh my gosh, they're finna run. Why Michelle does not do this? And we're gonna place it on the other lower lash line. cool beans. I gotta let that sit for a minute, so don't know what happened with that. I don't know. We're gonna bronze up a little bit. So we're gonna go in with our Juvia's since we've been doing Juvia's. I should use a Juvia's eyeshadow, but that's okay. I want to try the Milani. We're gonna go in with this Real Techniques contour bronzing brush, and we're gonna go in with the shade Tan, and we're gonna mix both of the shades together. And I love this bronzer. Like I said, when it goes on sale, I'm gonna buy a backup, and we're gonna place it most of it right here in this area. And look at my eyes. Please get it together, because it's gonna be a mess under my eye area. My eyes are just running. What happened there? Place a little bit more and pack it in this area and drag the rest down. And I like to, like I said, to place mine rather than swirl it, because in my opinion, when you do that, you can break up your base. And then I'm just going to go up and start to go around my forehead area and my temple area with what's left, and then I'll flick those edges though, so it can be blended. So now I want to deepen up just a little bit more. So we're going to go with just the bottom shade by itself and just place it. And I like to go like right here towards my bottom area of my lip. I think that is so pretty. So now I'm just gonna go down my neck. And I didn't apply any more, so that's kind of just blending out the rest of the shade. Okay. And we're just making sure it's blended like really good. Now we're gonna go with the blush. We're going to use the Juvia's Place blush, volume 2, and I like to mix both of the shades, and I'm using the same brush, and we're just going to apply it right on top of the bronzer, but more on the brow bone, not brow bone, cheekbone. God, what is your problem? Cheekbone area. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. And we're just going to make sure it's placed. And I like to place mine going like all the way up. And then I'll kind of like take it up my temple a little bit, because you can't see it. It's just, for me, I like to make sure it's like transitioned and, you know, really good and seamless. So now we're going to go in with highlight. I do not have a whole lot of highlights in front of me. So for the affordable, we're going to pull out my favorite baby. It's Wet n Wild in the shade, I should know this by heart, Hummingbird Hype, which is this. Now we're going to go back in with our Juvia's Place brush, and we're going to get a good amount of it on the brush. I don't even know why this thing don't have any hit pan on it. And place it right on that top of that blush. And as you notice, I'm not blending, I'm just placing all of my products. And place it. And that is a nice glow. Place a little bit more. And I like to wear this to work, because it's not like that blinding highlight. It's like this really nice, beautiful rose gold type highlight. And it blends in with my blush. My nose. I know some people don't do it, baby, but I like it. And go up. Cool. And I like it because, like I said, it's so soft and subtle that you don't have to worry about harshness and all this blending. So now we're going to do our Cupid's bow. And I'm taking the tip of this and flicking it against my Cupid's bow. And a little bit on my chin area where I highlighted. And we're going to just flick the edges of where the highlighter is, because you don't want any harshness anywhere, period. So now we're going to go back in with the Real Techniques brush. We're not adding anything else. We're just making sure everything is blended. And that is beautiful. So I'm not going to apply any shadows on my lower lash line, but what we are going to do is go back in with this Essence Lash Princess and apply it on our lower lashes. And I like to take the wand, like I said earlier, I like to use the tip of it first and get in the mirror and go across my lashes first and then comb out my lashes, the product that's sitting on top of my lashes. And then the same thing for the other eye. Because you can feel when you've touched your lashes, just the tip of your lashes, not your lash line, but the tip of your lashes. And comb out the rest of the product. I almost screwed that up. And this is my way of applying mascara to my... And you want to shut up when you're doing this, by the way. Because that's what I should be doing. To my lower lash line. So we're going to take this 534, 535 brush again by Morphe. Just to make sure everything is blended again. Okay. Now we're going to highlight our inner corner with this same highlighter that we used for my face. And we're going to take this, if I can find it, my little ColourPop brush. This little ColourPop pencil brush, and take the highlighter. And I do a generous amount on the back of the brush and just place it. And I like to just like go in little slight circular motions and place it on that inner corner. And the same thing for the other eye. And I go up a little bit to make sure the highlighter is not separated from my eyeshadows and everything is like blended really well together. Now, sometimes I'll do it and I'm going to go in with this same brush with a little more highlighter, and we're going to place it right in this corner on the lower lash line. Since we did not place any shadows on our lower lash line. I've been loving doing that because it doesn't look like your lower lash line is just completely bare. It gives it that nice highlight effect that I like. And you want to lightly blend. So I think that's it for the eyes. So the last thing I want to do is go in with my Nye Luxury Powder. And this is in the shade Beige Suede. And I like to place this on my face. Where's my brush? I swear. Girl, get your life together. So we're going to use this, because I can't find the brush I was looking for. Cannot. So we're going to use this BH Cosmetics brush. It's more denser than the brush I was looking for. You know what? Let's not do that then. We're going to take the BH Cosmetics. This is a BH Cosmetics, just this big, fluffy, more looser brush. And we're going to take off all of this excess and place it on my face and set the rest of this makeup. And it brings that medium beige color back to my skin. And you can see how the foundation really worked well after the highlighting and stuff. It doesn't look as yellow. Now when it oxidizes, I don't even know if I use those two shades together, but when it starts oxidizing, I'll know. So we're gonna just blend. So now we're going to carve out these cheek bones. And I'm going to take this same blender, and I like to use a flat end. And this is my air spun, by the way. The flat end with the powder, and carve out to make that straight line. And I like to go from here all the way to the inner corner of my mouth. So I can kind of say, when you go down diagonal, and it's kind of more even than just placing it, and then you don't have an angle of where you want to place. So I start with my ear area and go slanted to my inner corner of my mouth. And you can put how much you want. I just like to draw the line and let it set for a minute. And I don't blend it out. I set it with my setting powder. So while we're waiting on everything else to be done, let's try to fix these eyebrows just a little bit more, because I feel like with this powder and stuff, I just screwed them up again. So we're going to lightly, just this area here, okay? And I'm not going to put in a highlight on my brow bone area because I love the way it looks right now. This look is like more natural. I like this. So we're going to wipe these lips off with this same wipe. And we still have that little highlight in our Cupid's bow. And I'm going to take my sponge again, because when you wipe off like that, you tend to move the shadow. Not shadow, the foundation that's around your lip area. So let's see which pencil we're going to go in with today to lip line with. Let's do the Lorac Duchess. I've been loving this lip line. It's been like perfect for me. So we're going to line our lips. That's nice. This is a nice liner, lip liner too. It's not one of those harsh liners. This is like a nice lip liner. So now we are going to put something on these lips. Like I said, I want to use, and I'm probably going to have to because I don't see anything else in front of me that's affordable that I want to use. So I'm going to use these little $2. You can use any type of, you know what? Let's do this e.l.f. I like this. That'll be pretty with this look today. I still want to use one of these though. Let's see which one are we going to use. I got these from H&M. They were like $2. I think we can go with, let's do that one. We're going to do the pink nude shade. And it's like so much product in this thing. Like you'll never get out of it. And we're just going to place it. It's like real sticky though. But I like the shade and how yeah, baby. And we're going to top it with, like I said, I would have been done. I'm sorry. These greasy hands. Michelle. I have to start washing these things with a wipe. And if I wasn't filming all of this, it would have opened right up. So we're going to go in with the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss. I don't see the shade, but it's this nudie pink. And I'm going to top it with this other gloss. Super pretty. So now it's time to set our face. We're going to set it with the Milani Make It Last. And I'm almost out of it. I use this like almost every day. This is a good setting spray. So we're going to set it like really good. I know this seems like a lot, but that's how I get all this powdery cakiness away. So we're going to go back in with this sponge, and I like to make sure the line is set real good. And then I'll go around these other areas and set the rest of the products. And believe me, it may look like a lot and feel like a lot on my neck, but it is not. Trust me, it is not. You cannot feel it. And it does not move and transfer all in your clothes. So we're going to go around our nose. I feel like this foundation is breaking up already with that. And then our cheek area. Now what I do like to do is go back in with this same spray in the sponge, and I'll spray it to make sure that line has been blended without that strip of it. Something happened with this foundation right above my lip. Not feeling it. But overall, this is the final look. Excuse me, I'm just trying to get my hair together before I put on my clothes to leave. Okay, so this is the final look, and I love it. Everything performed really, really well. Like I said, the foundation, it looks like it's breaking right here already. I don't want to, you know what, let me see if I can fix that. Because it's just a little bit in here. If it doesn't, we're just going to keep going. Y'all know my thing. Keep it going. Okay, so we'll just apply a little right there. Take this sponge. Yeah, baby. And that did it. Okay, so I filled back in. Not all the way, but let's try a little bit more. I think that'll be okay. And blend it. Now we're going to go in with this Fit Me powder in the shade light medium to set this area we just had to fix. And it happens. What I didn't want to happen is I go to work with this mask on and it's completely gone. So I'm just making sure everything else is set really good. And I like this. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I like the way it turned out. I like how all of the products came together. And I'm glad I was able to record this video of affordable products. If you have any of these products in your stash, let me know how they worked out for you. What you do differently than I do, let me know. Because like I said, I'm always open to trying different things and seeing how they work for others. So if you like this video, give it 2 thumbs up. Comment, like, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye.